Yeah.
What's funny comedy?
Big ups to all the greatest comics. Today we paying homage. Red cup sunglasses and the latest garments. Big laughter and deep convo. Talk shit, but we keep it hundo. Big city like a beef combo with peppers. House music and Uncle Steppers. Cussing aunties, ripping stages to running companies. We on the grind, nothing comfy. I got time if you wanna front me. Mindy B, Sean Morgan, KB. Legendary shit like Fields and KG. Major platforms, we airing in HD. New comics and some my season is Bay Leaf. Gotta know the vibe, Chicago is State Street. Platform where ghetto, blessings and grace meet. Peace.
What's funny today? I can tell that my people got something to say. I don't care if you hate, I'm stunned anyway.
What's funny today show?
I'm a stun anyway, yeah. What's funny today? I can tell that my people got something to say. I don't care if you hate, I'm stunned anyway.
What's funny today show?
I'm stunned anyway.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, big welcome back, guaranteed to be a great show here with us at the What's Funny Today show. I'm Mindy B as your host. Always legendary talent, deep conversations rooted in comedy, but we hope that we teach you the game before anything. We got a stellar actress, comedian hybrid who's become and is one of the most dynamic voices in comedy and movies today. So we need you to stay locked and loaded for this full episode. Tap in on all social media platforms. And if you're watching this episode, just hit subscribe. Real simple. Let me get an introduction from my amazing co-host. Two in the building and a very special treat. She's definitely not last but least, but we ready. Y'all ready?
We ready.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
All right. Y'all need to tap in with Knowledge Beckham. He is consistently building platforms to help elevate comedy. This is our fourth season, as I already stated. 3 annual festivals, with the third coming back in September. And now, Pop the Balloon, Finding Funny. You need to tap in with my main man, Knowledge Beckham.
What up, Mindy? What's going on? How you doing?
How you doing?
Man, we got big things popping.
Yeah,
Get it? Popping.
literally.
We got big things popping. So
I see what you did there.
Hey,
You see that?
What is it? Bread and butter? What you supposed to do? When you say the same thing, I forgot.
for real, but tap in.
Y'all see my resident that already chimed in on the conversation. He's our favorite home comedian. 26 years in the game. He's fly and he's funny. But you cannot say that you truly know Sean until you disagree with something, have a conversation with him. He will give you his opinion. He'll ask you, does that make sense? And then it does. That's when you can say, you know, our resident home, Sean Morgan.
Sean Morgan in the building.
I do what I do.
Yeah.
Man, do we have a special treat all the way from the VA, a comedian and an actress. The stage is easy money for her with her own special, famous enough, and appearances on Showtime's Women of a Certain Age, with some appearances on some TV hits, BMF, P-Valley, Fox's 911, or Tyler Perry's For Better or For Worse. Let me tell you, the movies have been mayhem. Lakeview Terrace alongside Samuel Jackson.
That was my joint.
Single Moms Club alongside Nia Long, and Ted 2 alongside Mark Wahlberg. So if you don't know, you definitely know now that she is unstoppable and incomparable. Let's give it up for Coco Brown.
Now I'm gonna stop you right quick because I know people are gonna say something.
Yes.
It's Coca.
Coca.
My fans are worse to me. I don't care anymore at this point. I'm tired of correcting people as long as it's right on my check. I don't care. But my fans be like, it's Coca, it's Coca.
So let's give it up again for Coca Brown, because we want to get it right.
Yeah, I've been knowing you 25
I
years.
know. And it's like, that's how I came in with it, but
I'm definitely
blame it on the brother who named me James
as long
Bean.
as I've
Shout
been
out,
watching you.
Thank you.
That
I'm
is-
so sorry, but I was
No,
fangirling.
you're fine. I don't-
I was
it's
You
fangirling
take
a
us
little
in,
bit.
and I've
I just know
already
how my
learned some
fans
shit I
are,
had no
Sean.
idea.
And I kept trying to figure out where I knew you from. That damn pop balloon, brother. Oh my God. So disrespectful.
No, not the
gonna be-
real Pop the Balloon.
No?
No.
we're producing our
I ain't
own.
done that. I ain't done
But
that.
we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk
That's
about
real
that.
manager.
We're going to say
Yeah,
that.
he's about his rep. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I
probably
knew
where
I
you
knew
know me
your
from,
name,
right.
and I was like, why do I know this brother's name?
That's-
Now I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
We're excited to
Got
get
it.
into it with her. No better person than to teach us the game. We're going to talk legacy versus the algorithm or opportunity, the business of comedy. But I got a quick icebreaker. I'm going to pick your mind, Coco.
Okay.
Okay? Because you and Sean are friends.
Yep, we go back like car seats.
So Sean has said, don't you love when we start like that?
I don't know what the Sean knows.
Sean has said that comedians can be considered abnormal people by standing on a stage, talking to people that they don't know, and trying to make them laugh. And that is not normal. But I will ask your mind because at the same time, some of the comedians on this show that I have talked to have been the most intellectual and smartest people that I have ever talked to. How can the craft of comedy be ingenious but yet abnormal?
Because we all are, you have to be slightly crazy to do what we do. You have to be slightly off the beaten path to do what we do. I mean, it takes a certain level of crazy mixed with arrogance to get on stage and know that what you say can control the reactions of hundreds and thousands of people at the same time.
There you have it.
I think it's a perfect mixture of arrogance and insanity. Seriously.
So do you still think that's the, I agree. Do you still think that's the case today, or is today because of the advent of social media, et cetera, it's people may be chasing something different? Like I feel that when you all went up, you didn't even know it could be this, right? You saw it, you're like, you know what? This feels right to me.
Right.
Now people do things for all types of reasons. Do you think?
I'm going to say something that's probably going to have a lot of people in my inbox, but I'm going to keep it 100.
Okay.
The intelligence level of our audiences has greatly diminished.
Oh, wow.
When Sean and I came up in the game and those that came before us, the crowds had a certain level of expectation that we could not can you cuss on here?
Yeah.
Bullshit about.
Okay.
You couldn't go on stage and bullshit these crowds. We're talking about Showtime at the Apollo, Def Jam. These were trained crowds that knew what stand-up looked like. And you couldn't go up there and bullshit them. We are now in the microwave age of, which is so funny because it was definitely done on like, Apollo Comedy Hour, and we could go back to Snaps and all of that. Whereas playing the dozens, and that's brilliant. I know for me coming up in the game, I always say I was raised by wolves. I was raised by Chicago comics. I was raised by New York comics. I was raised by Miami comics, Atlanta comics, DC comics, who didn't let me get by on the fact that I had a pretty face and big titties. I had to be just as funny as the guys. And if I wasn't, they would destroy me just as much as I was one of the guys. I couldn't bullshit them. And so you're now in an era that you've got these microwave, all we do is snap on each other. We could go up here and bullshit you. Back in the day, crowds would call you out on doing someone else's jokes quicker than another comic would because they knew comedy. These new crowds now, they just want, ha ha, hee hee, your mama so black, or, something funny, quick microwave. I ain't got but 30 seconds to watch it, so it better be funny, so therefore it doesn't have any layers to it. It's just blam, blam. And I'm not dissing the comedy crowds, but you can tell those true comedy crowds as opposed to those that just want you to talk about them in the audience or snap on somebody in the audience or sit up there and jump around and do something goofy like slide across the stage. You can tell.
That's
Right.
real.
So for us veterans in the game, I know a lot of us, we talk and it's a hard pill to swallow when you've spent so long proving yourself, honing the craft, and then now someone's telling you, oh no, we don't want all that. We don't want all that. Just get up here and do something stupid for 5 seconds and make me laugh.
Yeah.
And if you gonna make me think about a joke, I don't like you.
It's funny.
Seriously.
It's funny because it reversed, right? When we were comedians, like this is no disrespect intended, right? Because I was always a fan, but it was a knock on the person at the time when D.L. Hughley would end his shows roasting people, right? Like I was like, the nigga funny, but you had people like, all that nigga do is talk about people. And I was like, but it's funny. And so now crowd work has become the it thing to do. And it's like,
and they act like they reinvented the wheel.
Yeah,
baby, you just put a new paint job on the car. That's all you did.
It wasn't something that was respected, right? As comedians, if we seen niggas and all they did was crowd work, we'd be like, this nigga ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who can't get up there and just be like, look at this shirt, look at this bitch head. But like, who can't do that? Right. You know what I mean? Like, you just bought the barbershop.
At the barbershop.
Yeah, you just bought the barbershop to comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And it used to be frowned upon, and it's weird that now that's the thing to do. And some of the biggest comedians, that's what they're doing. And I'm not knocking what anybody does, because if the crowd is responding to it and you making more money than me doing it, then who the fuck am I to say anything?
That's what I'm saying. The audiences have changed.
Yeah, but
because back then they would have, if that's all you did and you talked about the wrong persons, like if you talked about the old lady that used to get up and dance at Apollo and you said the wrong thing, they might have been loving you 30 seconds ago, but they're gonna boo you like you had to be careful about going into the audience, venturing to the audience. Now it's like the crowd wears something stupid. They want to sit up front. They pay thousands of dollars to sit in the first two rows because they want to be picked on. They want to be part of the show. But that's also another conversation about now how audiences now want to be on stage with you.
Yeah, because it's like they become the niggas in the background of the news. You know, when the news reporter be reporting and the motherfucker come back like this.
Right.
Yeah, so, they want to be that nigga now.
How do you adapt to that, or what you just said?
Like I said, I was raised by wolves. I remember being in the car driving to gigs with Sean and Leon and Dion and D-Ray, and they didn't care I was a girl. I got snapped on just as bad and told that my mama used to push planes back at O'Hara. They didn't care I was a girl, you know, so I had to learn how to hone my skills of snapping back and being ready so I didn't have to get ready. So for me, being on stage, because that's how I was raised, if I got a heckler, it didn't shake me. Mm-hmm. It didn't take me off my game. Mm-hmm. I could go in the audience, talk about you, and play nice until you made me go for blood, and you go right back into the bit I left, just like that. You know, and so that just came from my training. Now, I've seen that some people get shook by a heckler or, you know, don't be saying nothing to me or the way, like, no, it's part of the game, it's part of the fodder and what we do as a living. It's just now what used to be frowned upon is now the new norm. But like I tell them all the time, baby, you didn't reinvent no wheel. All we've done is put rims on it, new rims on it, and a new paint job and maybe some windshield wipers. You're just adding to a vehicle that was already moving. And it does evolve constantly. We've just seen the biggest evolution of stand-up because of social media. And where it became that comedy and stand-up comedy, especially with such an exclusive club, is now an open market that anybody, your grandmama, your uncle, your cousin, Pookie down the street that used to smoke crack, anybody can get in. If they do the right video on TikTok, they're now considered one of us. We're the only... You can't call yourself an actor and you ain't done some studying.
Yep. Right.
We gonna know it when you look dead in the camera doing your lines. We gonna know you don't know what you're doing. Yep. Comedy is the only career I have seen where anyone can pick up a mic and as long as they make 10 people laugh, they are now considered the same as someone that's been doing it for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's weird. You can't call yourself a doctor because you pick up a scalpel.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what people got mad at me about. But I'm glad other people are starting to chime in on that because they tried to make it seem like I didn't like content people. I'm like, it ain't that I don't like you.
Honey, I do country ways too.
It's the if Gorilla Girl, Glue Girl decided she had now think about this. She glued her hair to her scalp. And 500,000 people were interested on how she was going to get the glue out of her head. So they followed her, right? So she got over 500,000 followers overnight for gluing her hair to her head. Now, imagine if she was like, you know what? Now I want to keep engaging with these people and I want to be a stand-up. Like, people don't understand how that makes us feel. That you feel like, okay, you have a viral moment for whatever you did. Yeah. So now the gawk girl, she be like, you got the cock tooey or whatever they call it. Then she just say, you know what? I got 1 million motherfuckers cut a hot tooey. I'm gonna go to the comedy club and sell some tickets. Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the shit I had a problem with. But if you are a person, the Burn Post, the DC Young Flies, the people who actually took it serious,
learn the craft.
yeah, and learn, I have no
understood.
problem with them people.
Yeah.
Never have.
Because there's nothing more to teach you but the stage.
I think that's the biggest thing too, because we were talking about this in the car about new jacks not just knowing basic protocol in this business.
Yeah.
Of things you just don't do out of respect for the OG, the headliner, for God's sake.
Well, you got to speak on that because that shit, I still can't believe it myself. But
okay, so I had a situation that happened last night where the host started promoting. I was told about it after the fact because I don't watch. I'm somewhere outside smoking a square. I ain't thinking about y'all. You tell me when I got 5 minutes, okay? I just don't watch people. If I gotta watch you, that's a problem because either you're dying or stealing. So I don't want to watch you.
Right.
I don't want to watch you.
Yeah.
So I get told after the fact that they were promoting a show that was happening the same night as my show for people to come and see their show on my show.
Wow.
And of course, in my world, that's like taboo 1 million.
Yeah.
That if I'm hosting a show for D.L. Hughley and I know D.L.'s at this club the whole weekend, one thing I'm not going to do is get on his show and promote, well, I ain't here tomorrow, but come see me at this spot. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you've got so many young comics out here that do not understand the rules and regulations because they just get to walk on. That's like being a walk-on Q or a walk-on Kappa. We got hazed.
Right.
We couldn't call ourselves a comedian for a minute.
Yeah, I mean,
But now it's like there ain't no more pledge process.
yeah, I mean, for somebody like you would think that certain shit shouldn't have to be said because I've actually gotten into it with more than one person for this. Like I'll be closing and say these motherfuckers selling lighters with their picture on it. These bitches will literally walk
through
the
the
crowd while you're on stage
But I've
selling
seen
their
a
lighters.
couple of OGs do that, and it
And
blew
it's
my
like,
mind.
it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, can you be more disrespectful? Like, you want everybody to pay attention to what you do, then I get up here and now you selling bumper stickers with your face on it. Like, fuck my set. And then when you say something, then they get mad.
You're
at you.
hating. You're hating. That's
You're
their
hating.
favorite thing. Let me explain something. What camera I need to look in right quick?
All
Yes,
of
you
them.
are.
Let me explain something to you. This is from Auntie Coca.
Come on now.
If an OG finds it behooved of them to dispose upon you some great wisdom from their how many decades in the business, shut up and listen. We're not all hating. You can't take my spot and I don't want yours. Stop. I think so many don't understand. Stop saying we're hating when we see you effing up and we just want to give you some game. Now, yeah, we got some old haters out here and we know who they are. But it mostly ain't us. We just see you effing up and we just trying to steer you in a better direction. We see you climbing and the last thing we want you to see you do is go off a blind cliff. We're not all hating, baby. I tell anybody, my spot is secured. I got 100 some credits on freaking IMDb and I still got movies I ain't shot yet. I'm good. Okay? I can quit tomorrow and still find a way to tell jokes 10 years from now because somebody gonna remember Coca Brown. I'm not worried about my spot being taken because I'm worried only about my spot. We're not all hating. Stop thinking. If you are blessed to have an OG actually want to give you some game, shut up and listen. That's all I'm saying.
That's real.
That's the
That's
real.
And that's the educator in me. That's the auntie in me.
Now,
Shut up and listen. We're not all hating, baby. The thing is, you haven't reinvented no wheel. It's the same car that's been moving since the days of Dick Gregory and Moms Mabley and Pigfeet Markham. All we've done is keep putting new rims on it, new tires on it, a new engine in it. It's the same car. Understand that.
Yeah.
What year did you start comedy?
God, it'll be 30 years for me this fall.
Be 30. Congrats. Damn, that's
Yeah.
heavy.
that's phenomenal.
So, from the days of Comic Views and 9 to 10 appearances there, et cetera, we know a lot of comedians, right, from the Def Jam days, the Comic View days. Outside of talent, because obviously talent always plays a part of it, is there anything that you can point to that's allowed you to continue to stay not only relevant due to the funny, but doing projects that maybe some of your peers just they're not doing? Like,
Well,
is
I
there
I love
mean,
that.
outside of the funny, like other Coca stuff that you've always been very, your business prowess, or you have a great team, or any of those things that might give us insight?
my reputation precedes me that I'm a professional.
Okay.
I show up knowing my lines. I show up being able to improv. I show up treating everyone with the same respect as I give the executive producer and director, all the way down to the janitor. I am kind to people. I don't come in with no chip on my shoulder. Now, don't get me wrong. If I have to remind you who I am, I will. But it takes a very extenuating circumstance for me to have to remind you. And if it's only a handful of people that can say I had to remind them. But I tell people, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I think so many of the social media content creators, and I've seen this, and I think all of you have seen this, where it's like if you are putting yourself in a position to get that call because of your numbers, don't try to get ready after you get that call. Take the acting lessons, take the improv lessons, do whatever you have to do. So when you get that call, you're not breaking the fourth wall and doing your lines like, I don't know why you want me to go to the store. Why are you looking at me in the camera? Like, you know your lines. You know how to read a script. You know how to highlight a script. Something, anything. Don't just think because of that amount of commas above your head is going to make you Denzel. Hell, those of us who study the craft, who've studied Meisner and Strasberg, honey, we don't think we Denzel. So how dare you think because you got a couple of clicks? Like, do the work. It's okay to do the work, and it's more than just setting up your phone and taking a video. Learn how to do a proper self-tape. And it doesn't include you jumping all up out of the screen because you think it's all about being animated. No, they need to see you fool in this nice little square. I'm just saying, like, I think what has given me the longevity is that I've been able to move throughout the business, adjust where it needs to be adjusted, but still keep my same character and integrity in place as I move.
Love that. So as you're navigating in these phenomenal movie roles that you've been in and TV shows, did you show up as a comedian? We've talked about that a lot on our show.
It's funny. You mean, did I show up like in the business?
Did they already know you even as you were auditioning, or did you? I don't know how it goes.
No.
When you're
Okay.
as a
Technically,
comedian.
I started in musical theater when I was 10. I did my first play when I was 10.
Okay.
But I never thought it would be what I did for a living. I was supposed to go to school, get a good job, marry a nice guy, have some babies, come home and see my parents every Sunday. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be doing all this. But sometimes your destiny finds you. Sometimes you fall into what you were meant to do by accident. I started telling jokes in the latter part of 1996. And it was because of a friend of mine that saw something in me in college, introduced me to a guy who owned a comedy club. He invited me to open mic. That night, I met my mentor because he said because I was able to panic and realize these little jokey jokes I had written weren't working, and then I got real with him and told him I worked for the circus, and I did because I worked for Ringling Brothers at the time and their corporate offices. And he said, you learn what a lot of comics takes years to learn. I'm like, what's that? He goes, what's real, what's funny? And that was Darcel the Fat Dr. Blejman, the godfather of comedy in DC, took me under his wing, taught me the game. And from his tutelage and his guidance, and because everybody saw that he chose me to take under his wing, a lot of other cats started taking me under their wing and teaching me the game that were like OGs in the business. You know what I'm saying? I remember sitting in a basement waiting to go on stage with JB Smooth and JB helping me write a joke, and look at him now. You know what I'm saying? I remember being out front of a club in New York with Mike Epps and him saying, "Go add this to your joke," and look at him now. Like, I was blessed. Now I would come to Chicago and D-Ray would bring me to the old riddles and Damon would bring me, and they would speak life into me and teach me the game, and I was able to receive. I sat at the feet of my elders humbly, and I learned, I received, and now I do that myself. I have my own acting school. Seabass, Coca Brown Actor Studio in Atlanta. I'm doing that now where I'm paying it forward. But I came in, I think, as a stand-up comic, but no, I just came in as a girl that just happened to be funny, that thought, what the hell, let me reinvent myself. And it just all came together because I just pulled and took in whatever knowledge I could take in from everyone that was willing to give it to me. Honest to God.
Sean, I just saw, we're talking about social media comedians, Burn Poe recently, right? Looks like he had a show and it didn't go well.
Is that the dude that's been bombing everybody been posting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Let me address that because, of course, I'm the first person that everybody called, himself included, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I like Burn Poe.
yeah, I like
What's
Burn
his
Poe
name?
too. His
Burn
name
Poe.
is Burn
Poe.
Poe.
Burn Poe.
So
P-O-E.
I like Burn Poe. Is he did the skits, but he's putting the work in to do comedy.
Gotcha.
So what I didn't particularly care for was how many comedians jumped on that shit, right? And there was people who wasn't even funny themselves that was kind of jumping in, and I was like, wait a second.
Right.
Like,
right.
what the fuck? Why are you
Hey, that
jumping
the-
into this?
right.
You know what I'm saying? So then I seen people
Glass
like Mo
houses.
Good who jumped in on the rescue, right? Like, nigga, y'all niggas bombing, and it ain't 6,000 motherfuckers there to see you. You just bombing on your own. So Mo Good, take Mo Good to put shit in perspective, right? And so what I tried to emphasize to him was use it.
Yes.
Yes, use that energy. Because how you feeling now, you never want to feel like that again. So let that empower you to do better. And he actually did probably the most genius shit I've ever seen. And that is, he has a character named Nathaniel.
Okay.
And he literally hated on his own video. He was like, man, look at this bitch ass nigga.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
God.
nigga, that is probably
Brilliant.
the smartest shit
Yeah.
that I've ever seen
I
anybody
saw
do
that,
to
and
bounce back.
I'm like, that's the same guy.
Yeah, that's him.
See, I wasn't familiar with
Right,
him, but I thought that
right.
was brilliant that he was hating
Hating
on
on
himself.
He
Yeah.
heckled
But
himself.
I didn't realize he had a character. That's hilarious.
The character name is Nathaniel. So he
Wow.
went up there and he Nathaniel himself to bounce back. And to me, that was genius.
No,
and I told him,
definitely.
I said, that is the energy to bounce back. And I said, don't do shit else. Don't address this shit no more. Once you did that, it's done.
Let them
Nigga,
repost that one.
that is the best comeback ever.
Yep.
Like literally. But it didn't start bad. So if you look at the footage, he said something about the town, and that's when they turned on him, right?
Gotcha.
So the footage makes it seem as though he just had a bad set, and he didn't. It's just like it's a learning curve.
But that happened to me. The one and only time I got booed to the point that I had to hold on to the curtains because my feet elevated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was many moons ago. I do Erykah Badu's alma mater.
Mhm.
Didn't do my research. So I had this bit, it was ripping, and I'm young in the game. I'm just doing colleges with Brian Dennis and all that. So I'm thinking I'm at this college, this one bit just killing in the rooms, not realizing this is her alma mater. And maybe I shouldn't have done this bit there.
Yeah.
And I got into that bit, couldn't even get halfway through the bit, and boom, boom. I had been on, and mind you, it was my opening bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I ain't even get to even try. I had nothing to recover.
Right.
They started
Right.
booing me out the gate. I'm holding on to literally like the curtain, like, wait, let me finish, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And
But see, that's a learning curve.
I learned the curve. Do your research before
Yeah.
you go talk
Well,
about
I mean, some people
your city
just
or
don't
whatever.
understand
Just
as
understand.
simple, and this is what he didn't get, right? You can't be in bumfuck Iowa, right? And then be like, man, it's some terrible built bitches in bumfuck. You still here. You supposed to go. You go to the next city and be like, you ain't gonna believe the bitches I seen at this city. But you don't do that here. And he didn't know not to do that. So he did a joke about Rockford people in Rockford. And he was same thing with you. It was a point to it, but he couldn't get
I couldn't
to it
even get to
he
the
was
point.
like, but
Because
I
the joke
lived
was
here,
actually
so I'm
very
talking about
funny.
myself too. But they like, man, fuck
assumed
out
I
of
was
here.
going left with Urkel.
Right.
Yeah,
And then it's so funny, I did the joke some years later in front of Erica, and she fell out her
And
chair
she-
laughing.
yeah.
And I said, your
That's how it
people
be.
booed me.
Punk
I tell
bitches.
you.
Yeah.
So here's the question I want to ask you. So I appreciate that insight for them, right? If they're checking this out, I do kind of see the challenge, right? Like as you all were coming up, you hit open mics, right? That's how you honed your skills. I think it's hard, just even for the regular person. If you look at your Instagram and it grows and grows and grows, you start to feel better about yourself. You start to feel like you're somebody. So now hitting an open mic, usually as an up and coming comic, you're humble. You haven't achieved
But
anything.
you're winning on social media. You're not winning on a stage.
Correct. But it still plays a mind game
they
of you
thinking it's one and
maybe
the same.
thinking you're
one and the same.
And so really to have to, like a burn pole, really to get better, because he's going to get calls because he has numbers.
Right.
But to get better, he really needs to hit that open mic circuit. But I'm just wondering,
I mean,
for any of them, how difficult that might be in their own mind, because you do feel like I go outside and people know me.
well, the term is stay out your own way, right?
Okay.
And so a lot of the times people, for whatever reason, newer people equate notoriety with accomplish, right?
Okay.
So you haven't accomplished anything yet. You just have the audience, right? It's like being in college and getting
Which
A's.
can be an accomplishment.
Well, I mean, in essence, yes. But what I'm saying is this, right? If you go to college, you go through your courses and you do everything, but until you do the things to graduate, the thesis and all this shit, this other work means nothing until you get to this point. This is where your degree kicks in. So them other 3 years of school and all these other shit, the underlying things to get here don't mean shit until you get to this particular point, right? So it's the same thing with comedy. If you have a certain level of notoriety, some people think that is an accomplishment. But it's not really. You've done something to get people's attention.
Yeah.
But
I've always
retention
wondered, though,
is
Sean.
the thing.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Go
cut you
ahead.
off. It just hit me. I just never thought of it just now. Where do the social media content creators learn how to be stand-ups
They
if
don't.
they're not hitting
That was really my question.
the,
Yeah.
They don't.
the open mics and the comedy nights? Where did they learn how to be stand-ups?
They don't. And that's part of why a lot of them have disappeared already. You know, and I hate, like they say I name drop too much, but it's a prime example, like a B. Simone, right? She was very popular. She did Wild 'N Out. She did certain things, and then understand that, yeah, you have to keep people coming, right? So now I seen the video of her saying some shit about poor people, and then doubling down in another video like, "There, I wish I wouldn't have said this about the poor people," because now she understands that it's about retention, not attention, right? So you can get all the attention in the world because a lot of that shit ain't coming from good space anyway. Like Ice JJ Fish, prime example. You know what I mean? This dude got 1 million followers, millions and millions of views for not singing well.
I love
And that is what draw people to him. Is the fact that he does not sing well.
And be so committed.
Exactly.
Be so committed to him sounding like that.
Right. So and that's where the arrogance, because see, they get the spoils of war.
But if you pay to
without
see
actually
him, you
being
know
in
what
war.
you're going to get.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is they get the spoils of war, right? So that is another thing that creates the arrogance and why they don't have to work, right? Because at the end of the day, and we just keeping it a buck because this is what we do. If I'm making, we got Sean Morgan right here. He make $30 a show, and I'm this nigga, and I got 1 million followers. I'm making 20 grand a show. And I'm fucking I'm fucking who I want to fuck, and I'm doing all that, and I don't have to put in that work. They don't understand what it's like to be Deshaun Morgan with the $30. You know what I mean?
They don't have
so
to
they
be.
looking down at you like, well, you this
But
nigga
that
with the
goes
$30,
back to
nigga.
it all of it becoming a
I'm
free-for-all.
fucking baddies, and I'm popping bottles,
Right.
nigga. You ain't on shit, nigga. And that's their mentality into.
But that
they
goes
hit
back
that
That's
until
where
it
the beef
became
comes
an
in.
open air market.
Yeah.
And anybody can join the fraternity now.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't. And you see them running in and out. Like, no disrespect, because I know you work with Country Wayne, but I heard he retired. B. Simone is already gone. The Charlton Whites is dying down. Like, it don't last long, but it's the level of, and you said it and I've said it, it's the arrogance that come with it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Because these motherfuckers really be like, well, I got 1 million followers, you have whatever. And you can only make fun of me or chastise me in the market that I'm trying. So I'm a person, I've been on Instagram for 13 years. I still have less than 1,000 posts. And that's including y'all posting on my shit all the time. You got more posts on my page than I do at this point. So you can't make me feel like a failure because I don't do what you do.
Well, you know where it used to be like, Like when we came in the game, I know when I did, you could see the different tiers of success.
Absolutely.
It was very clear. You knew when somebody ascended and then got the brass ring. Now they could be here and boom, brass ring. And you're like, what a journey. What a journey.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
journey. And I think it confuses those of us who have paid the dues, done the work, know the craft, understand the craft, respect the craft. You know, like I said, you have to have a level of arrogance and insanity mixed to be in this business. But I think where their arrogance gets misconstrued, it turns into disrespect. They think disrespect is arrogance and cockiness, and I'm just as equal to you. Okay, but it's how you do it. Like they always say, it may not be what you say, it is how you said it.
Yeah.
It not be what you do, but how you do it.
And will you be here 30 years from now?
Right, and that's the next thing.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's
you
the
looking
real
at
thing.
you looking at 56 years.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We damn near AARP in experience,
That's my
goddamn. You know what I'm
free
saying?
plug. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So you know, people don't get that either. Where are you going to be?
Yeah.
In even 5 years from
yeah.
now?
But it's the hype of it all.
So I
They're not
hope
even
y'all
thinking about
saving.
that.
Correct. Not even thinking
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
not
Right.
thinking about that. They're not
Right.
even thinking 5 years from now.
Right.
Yeah, so I hope they're saving because, like, you know, I've seen internet people and they're like, shit, my overhead $6,000 a month, and I'm like, why would you even want that kind of overhead with something that is this unpredictable?
And the
This is
algorithms
a very
change so much.
unpredictable market.
You know,
Right?
I've
Yeah.
Now you got $6,000, that's $72,000 of overhead, and that's just overhead a year.
Yeah.
And the average human only make what, 55,000?
Or less.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, I
I've
think
earjacked
about-
a couple
Yeah.
of people, you know.
Think about it with the podcast. Like, to your point, I even think about now, like, the success heavily relies on putting it on something I don't own or control and never will be able to control.
Right.
Like, think about that. Like, your business
Yeah.
is built on this flimsy shit that you
Right.
have zero control over.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
If they, like, I just saw some video, whatever, and they were like, you know,
And I push
they
it.
were turning down, like, the comedy algorithm on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
can't control that shit.
Yeah.
No.
Right, you
I
cannot.
mean, earjacking someone you mentioned and them having to readjust because what was making them $1 million a post is now making 25,000 a post. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And that's just a gist. I'm not
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
but just listening to how even someone like that at that level has to now adjust to catch the right algorithm because they're seeing their stuff all of a sudden do the peaks and valleys when it was this, you know? So it's like, you're putting so much control, and it's the same as us. We put our control sometimes in agents and managers, make me famous, make me this. Honey, let me tell you something. The only person that's got the ability to do what they need to do in your life is you.
Yeah, you're the most important motherfucker in your story. I tell
Okay.
people that all the time.
Right, right.
So I want y'all to talk about something we've also discussed on this show, stand-up specials, right? And as I'm watching some of the comedy podcasts, you know, a lot of comedians have podcasts as well. I've heard more than once a tenured comedian even say that comedy specials are now like a saturated market. And you have a special as well, right? Or two.
That was put out, 4 years ago?
What do you think about that though? Because you know, I've watched, and my co-host called me out on this. If it's a Cat Williams, a Kevin Hart, a Earthquake, you know, a 10-year comedian, I'll tend to watch it, right? But what about the up and coming comedians that are doing specials? Is it important to do it, and what do they need to do to make it stand out if it's becoming saturated?
That's such
If
a
you
loaded
agree with
question
that.
because there was a time that getting a 1 hour special, even a half hour special, was considered part of the brass ring. That you have achieved a level of success, that someone gave you an hour and half an hour to do your thing on a national, international platform. In a good way, my boy Ali Sadiq changed all that. I mean, when I first got, you know, I have 3 specials out, but only one got like the major recognition, and that was Famous Enough. But I have 2 more that came before that, you know, got minimal, you know. But when I watched what he's done, and he owns it all, and it's getting the same numbers as Netflix, and he owns it all,
now.
honey, Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And we are living in a microwave world that people may have Netflix on their TVs, they may have Amazon Prime and Apple TV, but in all actuality, they are looking at that phone. And most folks, when they go to on their phones first, after they hit TikTok and Facebook, is YouTube. And if you have paid enough of them ads to make sure that your banner pep up, you good. And you're gonna get the viewership, you're gonna get the clicks, you're gonna get the numbers. And it's like, and then when you think about when I shot my last special, that was with a particular big branded comedy. How long it took me to see a residual check? I would have gotten that immediately if I'd owned it. If I'd owned my stuff. So it's like, I don't know how you feel, Sean, but I feel like at this point, it's a free for all in a sense. But once again, it goes back to not how, not just doing it, but how you do it.
And I hate beating this drum, but I have to beat it again because you haven't heard the song, but they have.
Okay.
I am lazy.
I'm still waiting on a 30-minute, 1 hour Sean Morgan special.
No, so this is unbeknownst. A lot of people don't know it. I got the 30-minute special with him. That's on YouTube. I had a 30-minute special on TV One, and I also had a hour special on. Well, it was supposed to go to Showtime, but it went to Amazon Prime. Okay. So. People don't understand. I'm a literal walking anomaly. I am everything that you should do and not at the same time, and it works that don't work while it's working. Yeah. Like that, people say, "Oh, you get views, you get followers." I have literal videos that's 10 million and no followers. Still, it's videos on my page that's in the millions, right? Still under 20K followers, right? I've had my own special. I have everything that people say you supposed to have to make it to a certain level. I have not done. But on the flip side of that, right? On the flip side of that, I'm a nigga that can honestly be like, hey, man, I done hung out with Michael Jordan. Anthony Mason was my best friend. Charlie Murphy was one of my best friends. Chris Tucker brother is one of my best friends. I stay at their house and go to their golf tournaments and shit in the summer. So I am a walking, none of this shit. I'm a walking clusterfuck. So when I look at things like, well, should I put more into this or pour more into that? I never know the answers to it because the same shit that worked for other people's never worked for me.
There's no formula.
But I still somehow am here. But not in the capacity that some people feel like it should be. But with me, I think all
that
things
proves there's no formula.
Yeah,
and you have to find what works for you. Now, yes, there's blueprints and what somebody else has done, and ooh this and ooh that. But in all actuality, once again, the only character you can control in this story is your own.
My biggest problem, and I think you may have the same problem, but not exactly because you branch off and do more on other platforms, right? So my thing is, my perfectionist shit won't allow me to just throw shit out there. Like, that's just not in me to say, I'm going to throw 3 videos out here, no matter how fucking terrible they are. Because if I throw cooked spaghetti at a wall, something gonna stick.
Just to do content.
You know what I mean? I want to make a good pot of spaghetti. So I want to know what al dente is and what to boil exactly and how to do. Because when you get my shit, I want you to be like, this is the best shit I've ever had. Yeah. I don't want you to see me at anything other than that. So I get this one big blow up, and then you can go back and watch 60 other skits that ain't shit in between the one that is shit again. Right. Like, to me, that's just not what I want to be known at. I want when people go back, like when people go back on my YouTube that never seen me, they be like, bro, you've been funny a long motherfucking time. Why don't people know about this? And that shit's so sparingly. But it matters. The Bad Boys of Comedy skit motherfuckers still showing that. It's 25 years old now. Do you get what I'm saying?
And people still know you hosted Comic View like forever. Like,
when
that'll never die.
When people talk about me, and it's funny because some people have actually said to my face that I've fallen off, and I'm like, well, I mean, it depends on what you look at, because there is no Comic View, right? So it would be different if there was Comic View and there was no Sean Morgan, then I fell off. But you can't say that if there's no stage for me to stand on, that somehow my career isn't intact. Because if that stage
everything's
was there,
out front now. And if they're not seeing you in their algorithm 24/7, hell, I've had people say, "Hey, Coke, you like the rumor went out that I quit."
yeah.
And I was like, "What?
No,
I
that's
quit."
impossible.
They said, "Well, I just ain't really seen you in no TV and film. Fool, go to my IMDb. You ever heard of post-production?
Right.
The movie ain't out
Right.
yet.
No way.
Right.
Like, really? But because there's a gap, I've quit. I'm not. But people are so used, like I said, microwave in your face. And
Yeah.
you're right about that. It's like, for me, I can't lie. I had my personal reasons, too, for doing the skits. Because I wanted to learn, what is this new thing? What is this thing? Let me peep game, And I learned a lot. I sat back, observed, I learned a lot just from observation. But I also knew that I wasn't that type of person like you that's just gonna throw something out there just to be thrown. You gotta post more, you gotta post more. I don't have anything I wanna post. I
Yeah,
need to be motivated.
everybody says that. Consistent. You just got to put it out there.
Tell you what I did, and it blew my mind. I had about 5 hours from the Baltimore Comedy Factory, because they record your sets for you. And it looks like a daggone special. It's crazy. I chopped them up. And I just started posting clips of my stand-up, clips. And I was ending each clip with where I was going to be next. Bruh. 4-5 of them videos went viral. I had never seen a Facebook check before. I was like, what's this? A TikTok check, what's this? A YouTube check, what's it? And then when I realized, all I got to do is chop up my own material.
What you're already doing.
And chop up my own appearances and all the things I've done on TV and make a little cute reel and throw it out there. What?
Yeah.
And then messed around, and me and my friends sitting around talking about what it's like to be, living life after 50. Now I'm doing little skits based on our stuff, and I'm using my friends all on the 50. And people were at my show last night. I just got 2 skits out, and they came to the show because of them 2 skits. I'm like,
Wow.
But I have to be motivated. It has to be something that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's why we doing my next venture outside of like things with them. We doing a web sitcom, and it's gonna be different because it's back in the day. People don't know this, but I've had 4 shows that got pitched and turned down by networks, right? Because either they felt like I wasn't big enough, and or it was key things that they wanted to change, right? So like 100 years ago, we pitched my sitcom,
Not
right?
100 years ago.
Yeah, it seems like
Dude,
it.
honey, let me tell you
But
how far the holding deals.
Yeah, no, and we actually had that, which was great, right? And so we get to this office, we get to the meeting, and because it was important that the character was a stand-up comedian, right? Because I wanted to show a side that people don't show, right? And they was like, well, Seinfeld was kind of comedian. I said, yeah, that's different. Seinfeld was the show about nothing. So they showed him do stand-up every now and again, but it wasn't about stand-up life. It was just about life in general. This, we want to show the side of, be it sitting in the audience and the nigga stealing your joke, you know what I mean? And you there to witness it. Or you go into a show, a nigga tell you $1,500, you get there, it's 3 people, and the nigga dodging you and you don't get all your money. People don't know this shit. They don't see this side, right? They think everything, you become a comedian and everything's just fine and great and dandy and you get all your money and everybody love you. They don't see the shit where you doing shows and this TV got the game on and you standing right in front of it and it's the playoffs and Kobe Bryant got 62 points and this nigga hooping behind you. And you trying to tell a joke. Motherfuckers don't understand it. So this show is geared on bringing that shit to light. And that was my brainchild, to where I was like, okay, now this I can consistently do because this is what I've consistently done. And this is something that I can put out here and do an episode a week or an episode a day or however we decide to do it. But that's the only way that I can feel comfortable putting that kind of material out there, is if it's, you know what I mean? It has to meet a certain standard, because I don't want you to ever run back and see some shit of me and be like, that shit was kind of mid.
Yeah,
And there's stuff out there. I mean, I've got movies I've done that I pray to God nobody has ever sees in life. Like I
Them
remember,
checks cleared.
bruh,
Fuck
they
it.
checked. I'll never forget. I was at a show in LA, and the guy that was hosting, Evan Lionel, you know EL,
Yeah,
and he was hosting the show, and he had a little contest, and he gave away a movie I had done on a DVD, and I ran on stage and snatched it out of her hand and gave her $20 and said, "Girl, good luck to you." Like, and he was like, "Go, what'd you do?" No one will ever see this movie ever. I bought all the copies out of Walmart. You know the big bin? I bought all the copies out the bin
That's
because I saw them in a
fucking
bin
hilarious.
somewhere because it was so bad. But I know it's gonna haunt me one day. I know, but
But back
doubt
then,
it
you
was
know, you had
bad.
to do what you had to do to be visible. But that's
Absolutely.
still work, and that's
Yeah.
still getting your chops up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing to be ashamed of. But I can't put out trash. Like I wouldn't, you know, it's a difference if you do a low budget movie because you're trying to learn to act, like you're getting your acting experience, or you're trying to be in SAG, or
it
you're
was one
trying
of the
to do
first movies
whatever.
I did when I got to
Yeah,
LA.
so
It
yeah,
was.
everybody understand that.
In
But
my defense. In my defense.
I mean, hell, Pluto Nash was 25 years
Yeah, tell us
into Eddie Murphy's career. I mean,
Like,
sometimes the shit don't look as bad on paper as it did once it's shot. Yeah. Yeah.
This is Women's Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Every month is Women's Month.
hey,
Come on,
Good
brother.
shit, Sean.
Good answer.
Good
Good,
shit.
answer,
Come on
Sean.
So has comedy changed for women from the time you started to now? Do you feel a change, whether that's camaraderie with your fellow comedians and just industry wide for women comedians and female comedians?
I love that question.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I feel there are more opportunities for us. They used to just pick one and use her till the wheels fell off. Now they'll allow multiple stand-up comedians be in a place of visuality and accolades. I mean, they just don't pick one and just wear her out till we're so sick of her, um, I think there's still that disparity of just, we don't get paid what our male counterparts get paid. If we are getting, I've never heard someone say because this brother's on a show, he must be sleeping with somebody. That misogynistic bullcrap is still alive and well. I think that what I've realized, and I think it's always been that way. I was fortunate that all the guys that took me under their wing didn't try to make me earn my spot on my knees or my back. They gave me a respect, and they made me earn that respect, but they let me stand up to do it, if that makes sense. And what I've seen now, back when I was coming up, I was told by a lot of the OGs, don't you sleep with none of these niggas. Don't you do nothing. Don't you sleep where you eat. Don't you shit where you eat. Don't you do... They scared me so bad, to sleep with another comic. It was like, now it's like, it's okay. Yeah, I've dated 5 or 6 of them. It's okay. And I'm like, wow. But I get it. We're grown, whatever. But it was so taboo when I was coming up. If you were known for sleeping with male comics, you weren't given the respect. You were put on certain shows for certain reasons. And now it's very norm, so that a lot of that has changed. And it's okay to date and mingle out loud with each other. When I was coming up, you had to keep it on the hush if you were doing it. I think too, when we fight every day because there are 20 people will say female comics are funny, 10,000 will say female comics aren't funny. And when you see them shoving down the throats female comics that aren't funny, to those of us that are funny, it really, really makes it hard. And I just see that hasn't changed over the years. I remember hearing the OG female comics talk about us coming up and who they deemed were worthy to be in the same room as them and who they felt were just taking up space because of whatever. And they may not have been getting major tours, but when you see it now, you'll have a tour with 20 dudes on it. They'll have 2 females on it. And these 2 females are only known for how many commas they got above their head. Yet they're supposed to represent the conglomerate of Black female comedians. It kind of hurts. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Numbers matter. And if they're selling tickets, but when you've been in the game as long as me, and you do shows, and you still have people come up to you and going, I ain't think female comics was funny. Like, damn, I'm still out here still having to prove myself after all this time. It kind of sucks.
Well, as a comedian watching the evolution, because I've been right there from almost damn near not the beginning, like not Moms Mabley, but from the queen, I'd say from the queen of comedy evolution of it all, right? Where they say, you know what, we're gonna put 4 women on tour and let them do it together. Like no one had really done that shit before the queens had done it. Right. So to kind of watch that and to see that female comics in general have evolved, right? Because, the biggest stigma was all they talk about is fucking. So to have the niches and the Coca Browns and the Mo Goods and the funny tiaras
Corey
and
B's,
the Corey B's and Fab Monroe, I mean, of course, we all still gonna be talking about fucking because that's what most of us do.
I think it's the delivery.
Yeah,
correct.
There was a time that we went through a period that a lot of female comics were out there showing more body than they were jokes.
Yeah.
We went through a period that if you could talk about how good you sucked the dick for 30 minutes, you were deemed a funny ass bitch. I think they went through a period where the bare minimum was accepted as long as she was pretty and she was down for the get down. I think that it came a time where that kind of shifted and they begin to weed out the bullshit. And that's across the board. I think that's comics in general.
Yeah.
A lot of the bullshit started to get weeded out because people were getting hip to we being played. We're being played. We're not being given our money's worth. We're not. But in terms of female comics, like I said, I ain't hating it. However you get it is how you get it. As long as you sleep at night, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But I just know things that used to be shh in this business are now out loud.
Well,
and it's okay.
It's out loud, but it's still
okay.
it's still a detriment to them, believe it or
You
not.
think
Because
so?
I know so. Because
Okay.
I know niggas that then they talk about the people that they fuck with, and you get booked to a certain degree, but you don't have that love or respect. It's no like that's why they got to do it to 5 or 6 motherfuckers. Because if it was love or respect there, then you would keep it at 1. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But it's just like, and this sounds terrible, but I'm gonna put it out there. It's kind of like women misread a lot of male energy, right? Like I had an argument with a woman who was talking about BBLs. And I said, let me explain something. She was like, well, niggas talk shit about BBL, but they sure be fucking them. And I'm like, well, it's the difference between dick and love. Yes, this is what men see, right? If you do this to yourself, we see low self-esteem. You've mutilated yourself. So now it's just like anything else. If you a grifter, you find your mark, right?
Yeah.
So if I see that you got all this shit, you got the face fillers, your cheeks sweating, you can't even smile, you should not do your booty out. We like, oh yeah. I know this bitch gonna buy stuff. She's gonna do stuff because clearly her brain doesn't function in the space of a beautiful person. Because why else would you be this motherfucker?
But when you see publicly those type of women getting chosen, that's where it gets confusing.
Correct.
Yeah.
You don't see a brother bragging about his no makeup wearing, natural body, short hair, natural hair
That's
queen.
but
they will prance around with that figure 8 bad built BBL,
and see, that shows
duck lip chick like she's the prize.
But this is what you don't understand, right? About real men. And knowledge, step in and help me out here. Niggas don't parade around with the one that they really fuck with. They don't want nobody to see this motherfucker. So if I let you see this, then this is, but the motherfucker I don't let you
representation
see,
is that for you?
that's the one I slap
How
box
is that
you with.
making you like a real man if you parade the bullshit and keep the real one hidden?
Because
That don't make you no
are,
real man. That make you manipulative.
No, that makes us.
Bastard.
We understand that if we keep you, you are in our safety deposit box. You are the Hope Diamond. You can't just walk and pick up
Why
the
you
Hope
fuck with the
Diamond.
BBL chicks in my face
you
in
can
public?
see all this shit.
Girls, don't believe that shit. You
but this
deserve so
person
much
over
more.
here,
Don't let no man put you in a box.
Yeah, I gotta let you ride it alone.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody.
no, what I'm saying is the woman of value to a man, like okay, we know people that in certain circumstances there's exceptions, right?
Correct.
Like you have some people who swing that are married or whatever, and they still love their wife or whatever.
Of course.
But most niggas can't swing because most niggas can't.
You ain't been to hedonism during Black
of
Week.
Another nigga digging their woman, right?
Go to hedonism during Black Week.
Yeah,
you never
but
see,
what I'm
you
saying-
be surprised the freaky and a lot
Yeah.
from Chicago. Whole lot
Yeah,
from Chicago.
but I'm saying like.
I ain't saying I went. I just heard.
Yeah, you done been to hedonism.
I'm about to-
Yeah, she knew how to say it,
Right.
so I know you've been there. You know,
And that's my fault. Michael Basin made me go. He paid me. He paid me to tell jokes.
yeah, nah, but that's real. So y'all,
This is great.
women comedians have evolved. You have matched, like you have the Lady Ricos. You have different women who are beautiful women. That are funny too. So it used to be that stigma, like you had to be.
Oh yeah,
whatever,
who was that
whatever.
said they're either sexy and unfunny or fat and funny? I think that was Bob Sumner. Did Bob say that? Bob said that.
Well,
I think he said that.
well.
That you're either pretty
So
and
is
unfunny
recollecting
or fat
making
and
you
funny.
wrong?
There's no gray area.
Damn.
I think he admitted that on the thing, though.
I think so.
I think he admitted he said that.
Yeah,
he
because
had
I
to eat
remember
his
him
words.
saying that in an interview, and I was like, "Well, damn, I'm in between. So what the hell am I? I ain't skinny, but I ain't precious. What am I? I ain't light skinned with green eyes, but damn it, I'm cute. What am I? I'm confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
God.
So that has even it has gone in a different direction because now there are beautiful, funny comedians. Because it was people back in the day, like, okay, I won't say that name, but that disappeared, and that's what they were known for. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a couple in LA that motherfucker like, you seen this motherfucker? And I haven't heard their
I
names.
know
in
exactly
probably
who you're
6 or 7
talking
years
about. That
at
y'all
this
all
point.
sweated and Poe Thing couldn't tell a joke to save her life.
That is,
But
yeah.
y'all put on all the tours. Sweet girl, though. Sweet girl.
Yeah, so I mean, so there was some of that, but I just think that female comedy has evolved just in general. Like I think that I could say somebody had argued this point, but I can say that a you or a Just Niche or it's motherfuckers that can actually stand up with niggas as comedians.
I was having this
at point.
conversation
No doubt.
with my girl Dawn B. Shout out my girl Dawn.
Shout
B.
out.
Oh yeah,
Dawn.
Love me
super
some
love
fucking
Don.
Dawn.
B.
Yeah.
Me and Dawn came up in the trenches together back in the day. And it was a sorority of us in that clique. It was Leslie Jones, it was B Flat, it was Pat Brown, it was Dawn B, it was me, Vanessa Fraction. I could go down. We had a clique that was just in that pocket that we were known that we could go toe to toe with any dude. You could grab, you could close your eyes as long as we were in that little box. Close your eyes and grab one of us. Trust me, you ain't had nothing to worry
I'm
about.
with it.
Right. Nah,
Like
that's facts.
we were this little sorority, and it was a curse and a blessing. It kept us booked, but it kept us off tours. Wasn't nobody
Damn.
trying to put us on tours because wasn't nobody trying to follow all that. It was a curse and a blessing, but at the same token, most of us were raised by wolves. Like, no disrespect to any of the OGs that came before me, but a lot of them were so busy trying to keep their spot secure, they weren't reaching back for us and giving us any kind of game. That came later after we established ourselves and they realized that we were serious about it. And then we were invited into the big room and met with grace and love and now the sisterhood of a bigger, way or whatever. But most of us were raised by wolves. We were raised by dudes in this business. So we weren't taught how to get up there and oh, I'm cute, and I'm gonna tell a little joke. No, we weren't. We were like, rah! We were taught to go on stage, rah! You know. I mean, first time I moved to LA, Spike and Mo Better Monday said to me, Coca, you ain't got to go that hard here. You can breathe, bitch. Because I went on stage and D-Ray night, rah! You know.
Keep going with that, because you mentioned Spike with More Money, and you know that's coming. We cannot end and wrap the show with all the movies, sets that you have done and been on. You gotta give us one of your most exciting moments on set, and who was that with?
Angela Bassett, hands down.
Come on.
911, Angela Bassett. When I got to act opposite her, and it was a scene of just me and her, yeah, I peed
You
a
can
little.
see your range and your depth on that
And when
show,
we were
honey.
done, I would say her and Sarah Paulson. If you know Sarah Paulson from American, she does everything with Ryan Murphy, amazing actress. We did American Crime Story together, and we had a whole scene with, I had Courtney B. Vance, Sarah Paulson, Kenneth Choi, all of them were in the scene. David Swimmer, and I was in the scene with them. And to come off that scene from American Crime Story, and have her come to my trailer, knock on my door, and say, "You were amazing." I was like,
Love me
whoa.
a good crime
And then when I
story,
did
too.
the scene with Angela in 911, and when they were like, cut, and she was like, good job. I'm like,
That's dope.
like, that was like being knighted in a sense
Yeah.
to me, because Angela has been on my vision board. Like, it's literally like, Viola is like the father.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then Loretta and Jennifer are like the son.
Oh my God.
And then the Holy Ghost is Angela. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I mean, and I'm not comparing, but I'm saying that's how I looked at them in terms of my vision board, in terms of acting and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to see myself go. But those two moments always stand out to me, man.
That's dope.
It's like I was knighted.
You sent chills through my body. KB.
You talked about the comedy audiences and kind of being watered down over the years. Give me your top 5 comedy cities
God,
Baltimore. To go to perform.
Baltimore.
Okay.
Ooh, Baltimore. Houston. Dallas. Seattle. Tacoma, like that SeaTac area. You know, it's crazy. I've done Detroit more than I've done Chicago. You know, and that's why people always mix me up with the Coco from Detroit, I guess, which is so funny because it looks like the movie Twins when we stand next to each other. Love you, Cole. Love you, Cole. but you know, Chicago was always fun. I honed a lot of my skills here at Riddles with D-Ray back in the day.
Yeah.
D-Ray was bringing me out here once a month. And
People don't like to do
skills.
Chicago. Like, that's the elephant that people don't like to address in the room. Our crowds aren't nice. So most people don't like coming through here. They come through here because they have to, because it's a money grab. But if you're not at the Airy Crown or some shit like that, people don't generally like coming through here like that. We never get high praise for our audience. But that's, again,
Since
why
Riddle stopped, but Riddle back in the
we're
day
the
was.
best comedians because we be having the worst crowds, man. People don't understand.
But New
that's
York
a
is like that
correlation.
too. I love New York,
Right.
but New York don't play with you.
Nah,
New York still has a Def Jam mentality.
Yeah.
We don't care how many credits you got.
Yeah.
We don't care how many likes and followers you got. If you garbage,
being from Chicago, I could tell you the 2 main differences between New York and Chicago.
okay.
If you earn the respect of a crowd in in New York, they fuck with you forever.
Yeah, amen to that.
So
amen to that.
if you crack them, they fuck with you,
Yeah,
right?
forever.
Here, you can do Monday and kill, and Wednesday not do good, and Friday no one's at your show because they like, man, that nigga was trash as
Waiting
fuck
on
on
you to
Wednesday,
fail.
bro. Like it's a completely you are loved joke to joke here. They don't give a fuck about none of that.
I think Atlanta's like that a
Reprove
little bit.
yourself.
Yeah, joke.
They don't,
joke.
ATL's like
you
a little
nigga.
bad.
You literally live joke to joke here. And New York has something else that you can kind of rely on, right? That Chicago don't have. We don't have safety nets in comedy. New York has safety nets. You could go Jamaican. You could talk about bodegas. You could talk about the subway. You could talk. It's different shit that if you bombing, if you know how to bring this shit into your act, that they gonna look at. We don't have that. We don't have no taxi
nothing.
cabs. We have nothing to fall back on. So if our sets go bad, we don't have the recall. We don't have the shit. I was at the bodega and I got me a motherfucker prescribe me on rye. Like you can do that shit in New York.
So you
cannot do
guys
that
can't
here.
talk about your
We
life
have
here.
nothing. What would you say is a callback in Chicago? You've been around comedy long enough. What callbacks do we have?
You can do gang shit if you want.
I was gonna say y'all can't do gang
You
shit.
can do gang shit. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
notorious for
like
that.
you know, Sam do his pitchfork.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
you can do
mean-
things like that. That's gonna be people are gonna get it. Like just
that
and
are
that's a
local.
Chicago
You talking
thing.
about
Right.
jokes that are local?
No, I'm saying
that are
a
that-
safety net, something that if you bombing, if you bomb in New York and you say you bust out a New York accent or say
You
the New
better
York
do it
niggas-
right.
Yeah, you better do it right. But these New York niggas, like Will, that was
Will
one of my
Smith?
favorite. Yeah.
So-
When he used to do the Haitian shit, bro.
Oh yeah. Why you do this to me?
That shit was that shit is hilarious. But
No,
it's
you
just-
should see him do that over in the Caribbean.
That's
I did a
funny.
tour with him where we did 3 different islands.
Mhm.
When he did it over there, bruh.
Yeah, that shit is hysterical.
It's one thing in New York, but you go where they act for real. At that point, it was like, show over. Let's just go.
Yeah, that shit.
Love Will.
Yeah, so I think that's the difference. But that's not even a fair question to ask people here. Which crowd? Because they ain't gonna never be here.
You don't think so? Okay. Because I mean, back in when I used to come to Chicago,
I
back
don't
in the
know
day,
nobody
I loved
to
coming
say,
to
I'm finna
Chicago.
go to Chicago.
When D-Ray had rooms
Tough.
back in the day and Damon had that big round room. Remember that big round room in the hotel?
Razzmatazz, yeah.
Yes. I loved coming here. I loved Chicago. But it's like it doesn't have that energy anymore.
Yeah, it also you were still you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People now Chicago, that's one thing. If you got a name, like I said, if you're at the Airy Crown, you'll love the crowds here. But anything damn near below that, you not on the black circuit. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
was that came on our show that said they wanted to perform here first when they got started?
Ryan Davis
Ryan
said it.
Davis.
Did it special
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so a lot of people, because this is what it's
They
known
know
for.
he knew it was the heart,
People
yeah.
feel like if you could survive a Chicago crowd, then you can survive anywhere, and it's true.
No, Chicago was definitely part of my
Do not
upbringing
play.
and raised me.
Yeah, and once you get the respect from the people here, and you can survive, not the big shit. The big shit don't count. Like if you get to the Airy Crown, and even if you're doing something as big as the Improv, because then people came there to see you. Right? So that's a different vibe. They're going to give you the benefit of the doubt on them shows. But like a nigga handing you a flyer and you just got a room, like how you said you got Evan Lionel, you did Evan Lionel shit. Like you go to EL shit, right? It's going to be a bunch of people that don't probably know who the
Shout
fuck
out to
nobody
EL.
is there, but they come in the lab because they trust in him that he going to bring funny people.
Exactly.
Here,
Exactly.
if they not specifically coming to see you, it's known that they're just going to give you a hard fucking time. That's just what it is.
JB, any more top fives you want to tackle? Because you got the best ones before
Well,
we
I'm
wrap
just-
up.
It's Women's Month,
Yeah.
and so you being the woman that you are, I guess we'd have to get your Mount Rushmore of women comedians.
Mount Rushmore women comedians.
Yeah.
Moms Mabley.
Mm.
LaWanda Page. Cheryl Underwood.
Mm.
Some more.
Boom. Okay, here you go. 4.
You go.
That's your 4.
Love it.
Right on
Yeah,
out.
love it. That's strong.
Any last remarks about the pop balloon? Find it funny before we wrap.
We got to check it out. I think we're bringing something fresh to the competition space. You're talking about 8 comedians going head to head, 3 rounds, audience participation. So as an audience member, you have to focus, you have to pay attention, you have to laugh, and you'll get your opportunity to pop the balloon of one of our performing comedians. So I think it's going to be a good time. If you're not in Chicago, you'll be able to come back and check it out on the What's Funny Comedy YouTube page. And I think it's dope.
It's going to be extremely dope. Shout out to Marlon Mitchell, the host.
Marlon!
That's right, Marlon.
Yes, me and
Love
the
me
comedy
some Marlon.
girlfriend giving a rundown weekly. We're going to be jumping in on our little host feet. So
That's
it's going to
it.
be fun.
All right.
First, and let's give a round of applause to Miss Coca. Brown
we
for
go.
coming to the
Thank
show.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Queen.
you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
Thank y'all for
much.
having
And
me.
I haven't seen you in a couple years, and I do my flowers,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
And watching your growth, watching you progress. It people don't understand. It's certain people that keep me motivated, right? Because I see a lot of people who I haven't been, but we done been in tour vans and did all kind of shit.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be
Somebody
people.
call, going
It's
to the creek,
people
going to
who
the show.
I've seen kind of get to spaces, and it's like, And then it's people like you that I've seen get to spaces, and like I on BMF and different shit. I'd be like, go. You know what I mean? So congrats on your success.
Thank you, baby.
Congrats on everything you've done.
Big congrats.
Thank you for being inspirational because you have stood, like, a lot of people don't stand true to their shit, but you have, and I know that you've helped other comedians. Now, if you want to talk about who you kind of brought along or whatever, that's on you. That ain't my place.
They know who they are.
But yeah,
They know who Auntie's has touched.
yeah. So, but we don't get to see that a lot when you see people become successful. Most people, you know what I mean? And you didn't do
1,000.
that. So thank you for not doing
You're
that.
welcome.
And hopefully the people that you've inspired continue to play on that, because that people don't understand the importance of that. That was one of the main things that I tried to do when I had a bit of position, was pay it forward and let people know that you don't have to bask in all the light yourself. You can let other people in, and it's not going to change who you are.
Right.
Sean Morgan becoming big will not change Coca Brown. It's not going to make Little Rail less relevant. It's not going to make Dion tickets. The only time it becomes a problem is if you all there on the same weekend. Don't make a nigga choose.
Yes.
Right.
But if Cat Williams, Mike Epps, all the niggas that we know go to Chicago, and they this week, next week, this week, all that shit don't sell out, bro. Niggas gonna figure out how to get to all that shit. Just don't do them all on Saturday the 1st.
Yeah.
And make a nigga be like, damn, do I want to see Cat? Do I want to see Mike Epps? Do I want to see this nigga? As long as you don't do that, you can survive.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that. They think that letting someone in is gonna compromise that, and it's not.
People, when you are secure in your spot, because you can sleep with a clear conscience every night on how you got to where you are, it's a different kind of feeling. You don't mind paying it forward. You don't mind sharing the knowledge, to those that want to listen. I've never been worried of anyone taking my spot, because my spot completely changes every day, and I just go with the flow. I'm just happy I can take care of my kid.
I love it.
Real talk.
Love
Groovy.
that. And another round of applause for our resident home, Sean Morgan.
Sean,
As always.
and thank you for the
Big
love,
round
baby.
of
Thank you
applause
for
for
the
our
applause, baby.
amazing co-host with the greatest questions, KB, Knowledge
Thank you,
Beckham.
thank you.
Tony is on set. If you know Knowledge,
Shout
if
out,
you're going
Tony.
to his shows, you know Tony.
Of course.
Follow us on every social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you enjoyed this content, please press the subscribe button and tell a friend if you enjoyed. What's Funny Today show, we're absolutely sure to tell you. Peace out.